Welcome, friends. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the participants joining from different parts of the globe. Welcome to My Time. Welcome to the day 20 of My Time. So, as you know, this 33-day program of My Time is organized by IFSS in collaboration with PSSM Global. So, this is the time between World Meditation Day and the International Day of Yoga. So thank you all for joining every single day and taking out time for yourself and doing meditation every single day. So friends, let's do a quick recap of what we have done in the past 3 weeks. So we have started with the basics of meditation, how to meditate, the posture, how to sit in the meditation, and then we moved on to the science behind the observation, why observation is important when we are doing meditation, and the neuroscience behind the meditation, and then the challenges we face in the meditation. Right, we face some challenges. Will not be able to sit, so we have discussed, clarified the challenges we faced in the meditation, and then we moved on to the presence, which is like a present moment. How to be in a present moment is very important, and taking control of present moment, how it affects our behavior, we perceive how we perceive things, right? And then we moved on to the mind part, like the churning of the mind, the emotional side of the ego. And then we also discussed about the energy and chakras and the importance of reading books, which is Swadhyaya. And then the next week we learned about the Sankalpa Shakti, which is thought power. So how thought first manifests in our body and then in our reality, right? And then we move on to the psychosomaticity, the mind in the body, like how mind plays a very important role in our life, right? So, and we have discussed how mind works within our body. And we have also learned how to think clearly, right, to manifest things. And yesterday we had a great speaker, Hari, who actually spoke about the guru within, right? So where we have to start focusing inside and then be with our natural self, so that the same thing is reflected outside, right? So as you see, friends, we are going into the deeper concepts here, and we are moving to the heart space, which is our natural self, our true natural self. So today, to speak about the today's topic, joy, the right choice, we have Shibu with us, who will be uh, talking about the topic. But before I hand over the session to Shibu, I would like to call upon Sunil, who will be sharing the research bite of today on mindfulness. Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Hi, Sirisha. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, great. Thank you for a wonderful summary of the entire event that we have uh, passed through, day 20. Well, today's research is yet another beautiful one. And this research actually explores how practicing mindfulness, which means paying full non-judgmental attention to this present moment, and how it can influence the structure of the brains. So this study was carried out collectively by few researchers from Hiroshima University, Nagoya University, National Center of Neurology and Psychiatry, National Institute of Psychological Sciences, and Shibu Medical Center for Prolonged Traumatic Brain Dysfunction. All of these are in Japan. So mindfulness, as we all largely know, is a practice rooted from Buddhist meditation, which is again widely known for its various therapeutic benefits, such as reducing stress and emotional reactivity, and it also helps manage depression and anxiety. So the researchers, to measure mindfulness, they used 5 facet Mindfulness Questionnaire. They abbreviated this as FFMQ. Now, this looks at 5 aspects, and those 5 aspects are non-reactivity, non-judging, acting with awareness, describing, nothing but expressing ourselves, and observing. So what they did was, these researchers used advanced imaging techniques like MRI scans to examine how participants levels were as measured by these FFMQ related to their brain structures. Now, they discovered that one specific aspect of mindfulness called describing, which is nothing but the expression or expressing themselves, this facet was positively associated with larger gray matter volumes in the 2 key brain areas, the right anterior insula and the right amygdala. Keep the technical thing aside, but these regions of the brain are crucial for processing bodily and emotional awareness. The various highlights are highlights. So this highlights the power of being able to articulate the emotions. The larger brain areas linked to these skills may lead to a better handling of stress and emotions. And it also suggests that practicing mindfulness regularly could physically shape our brains for the better. So these are the various outcomes. Out of those 5 facets, this expressing was the one which was more significant. So even researchers say that regular meditation definitely help from that emotional well-being. You can express emotionally well, and that expression is very important for our evolution. So this is the short and sweet research bite for today, Sirisha. Over to you.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you so much. That is, that actually connects with our session so much, right? Thank you so much for sharing that research bite. So friends, let's move on to the next part of the session. I would like to welcome Shibu. Shibu is a long-time meditation practitioner. He is joining from North Carolina, and he's also an IT professional, works for a large organization, and he's also a nature lover. So today, to discuss about the topic, he's a very joyful person, I would say. Like, he always smiles. That smile gives us the joy. So hi, Shibu, welcome. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Sirisha, thank you. Thanks for that intro. Joyful person, huh? Yeah, I mean, joy is so contagious, right? I mean, I can speak on the joy from your face. It's so beautiful to see all these smiles. So good evening, Sirisha. Good morning, Sunil. That was a very cool wisdom, Sunil. Cool research. Is it FFMQ, right? Is it FFMQ? Yeah. Okay, I'll look it up. I'm just now I'm curious about this, Sunil. All right. So Sirisha, today's day what? What date is today? What day?
Day 20. So ideal
20.
technically it should be day 21 because we call day 0, right? So it's day 20.
Yeah, wow. Day 20, we still have, I think the shout out to all the participants who have been joining on a regular basis, right? Joining
Yes.
for 1 day, 2 day, that is easy, right? You're just curious and you step in and just look at it, right? But I know I was there on day 0 and I was continuously attending whenever I can, right? But day 21, if you can stick around for 21 days, that speaks your perseverance, your seriousness, sincerity and seriousness. So first of all, thank you for that. And my gratitude to Patriji, Sampath, and the entire My Time team here. And I know it's a lot of hard work, but you won't see that stress on any of their faces. It's all done in joy. Look at the smiles, right? It is Sirisha, it is Sunil, with all the smiles. So today is, as Sirisha mentioned, we are getting into the last stage of the program, right? The final part. Getting more and more inside. As we move inside, all we can find, dear friends, is joy. And that is the topic for today, right? So as we start the meditation, let's put an intent. Let's allow ourselves to be joyful this entire time. Allow ourselves to be joyful. Know that you are worth it. This is our time. As the program says, my time. Nothing else matters, right? Just allow yourself that time. Nothing else matters. You're totally worth it. Let's be joyful. Let's put that intent strongly before we start meditation. So we have been meditating for this 21st day. So there is no need to go into the procedural part of it. You know what we are doing. You all now masters of it. This is Anapanasati, which is breath mindfulness, right? Being mindful of our normal, natural breath. And we have 38 pulls. All right, so let's get started. If you're wearing a specs, please remove. Scan the entire body, dear friends. Make sure you're sitting in a very, very comfortable posture. Sthira Sukha Asana. Comfortable, stable. If you have to move your body, adjust it a little bit, this is the time. Feel free to do it. Now, place your attention on your entire body, starting from head to toe. See if you are holding on to anything. Are you allowing the body to be natural? See if there is any tensions anywhere. Head to toe. The forehead relaxed. Your chin, shoulders, hands, feet. Scan the entire body, dear friends. Just be aware of everything which is happening now. Where you are seated, be aware of the surroundings, your room. Is it feeling cold? Is there any sound? Just be aware of everything. Just be a witness to it. A silent observer. Just observe. And as we observe, bring your attention to the breath as well. Is your breath? Be aware of the sensations caused in the body by the breath. Just see if you are allowing your breath to be natural. Is it allowed to go all the way in? Are you holding on? If you are, let go, release. Be natural, be authentic. Just be there as a witness. Your eyes should remain closed throughout the meditation. Just observe the breath as a small kid would observe the waves in and out, in and out. Just remain a witness. We have always taken our breath for granted, dear friends. This is our best friend for life. Let's not take our breath for granted. Let's give our full attention to our breath. Normal, natural breath. The tip of the nose. As the breath is coming in, is it cold? Can you feel it? Is it going in through the right nostril or the left nostril? Or is it happening through both? Just pay attention. Observe. This is such a grand happening, dear friends. Let's be a witness to this grand happening. Every breath is unique. Just be with the breath. Every incoming breath is refreshing you, energizing you. And as you exhale, more and more and more relaxing. Deeper and deeper relaxation. Feel the emptiness. Be a witness to life as it is happening. Such a joyful happening. Everything coexisting. Such joyful interdependence. Joy of coexistence. Just be witness. Feel the joy. Let the mind completely dissolve in the vastness of our body sensations. If you become aware of getting into thoughts, simply come back to breath. Your normal, natural breath. Be a witness to this and happening. Body is breathing joyfully. Just be a witness. Great going, dear friends. As we continue, we see that there is no observer. There is only observing. Just be part of this grand happening. This joyful grand happening. continue joyful observing. I'm so blessed to be part of this grand happening. 5 minutes. Slowly come back to your friends. Be aware of your surroundings. Slowly take your time. You may wiggle your toes, move your fingers, slowly come back. And when you're ready, place your fingers, unclasp and place your fingers on your eyes for 5 seconds. Do not open your eyes yet. Just soaking all the energies. Whenever you are ready, slowly open your eyes and look at the world with a lot of gratitude and joy through your fingers. Thank you so much, dear friends. Thank you. Over to you, Sarisha.
Thank you, Shibu. That was a very nice and deep meditation. So whenever you were saying joy, it was like, that little smile was coming out. Thank you.
Deep in a smile, right? Absolutely, deep in a smile.
Yes. So that is like a reminder for us. Okay, it's not like a serious thing. It just, you can smile. Thank you. Thank you, Shibu. So Shibu, to start with, when I saw this, the flyer, I saw like Joyce, joy, the right choice. So what is this Joyce? Because I've never seen, I've never heard of Joyce word. So what is this, like a plural form of joy?
Did you Google it? Yep, I will get into that. But before that, may I please request everybody to turn on their videos? Guys, this is a joy session, okay? We cannot talk about joy. Let's be joyful.
Yes, friends. Please come on, video if possible. So we want to see all of your joyful faces.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning to Sonalata ma'am. Thank you so much for joining in, madam. So nice to see you. So nice to see all the smiles. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. All right, so you asked about joys. Yeah, it's a word, Suresh. It's a very interesting word which came to me just in 2021. This word just kept coming back. Can't remember if it was in meditation or after meditation, but this word just kept coming back. It's joys, joys, joys. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Then I did what I just asked you. I Googled it. I'm like, oh, I don't think that's an English word. I know rejoice, but what is joyce, right? So yeah, I mean, joyce is actually two words which is combined, joy and choice. Two beautiful words, right? All along now we were experiencing, we were in that joy frequency, right? Joy is a state of being. And choice is something which we have to realize that we have, right? First of all, we have to realize that we have a choice. That is one stage. And when we realize and when we know that we have a choice, then connect to that frequency of joy. That is when life becomes choice. And that is the state of being, right? Choice. Continuous choices, joyful choices. Then you are in the highway of choice. And that is a concept, but let's go a little bit deeper. I mean, this is not a conceptual thing, right? I don't think joy can be a conceptual thing. It is something which we feel. It's a state of beingness, right? So, Sirisha, back in the day, as a kid, do you have joyful memories? Can you reconnect any of your memories from that time where you're just joyful?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. 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 Yes, I do reconnect, but like no tensions, no worry of homework. So it's like just play around with the friends, not staying in the home. Yeah,
So that is
whatever
before
is.
school, right? That's before
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
that
Yes,
times
yes.
before school. Yeah, then
Yeah.
school happened. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yes, and school happened. A lot of homework, too many books, too many subjects.
Uh, let's let's do a small exercise, right? Let's all try to connect to that innate joyness. You all come back from meditation, you're very calm, very, very calm. Let's do a very small exercise, connecting to that joy. Can I request everybody to please close your eyes? It's a small exercise. It's not a meditation or anything. It just probably takes 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. Just be comfortable. Sirisha was just talking about the time with no homeworks, right? As a small, beautiful, joyful kid. Just visualize, just bring that kid alive. See it clearly. And this kid, for the first time, is going to see the ocean. Has only heard about this kid, has only heard about the sea. And for the very first time, it's going to the beach. Kid, this beautiful kid, is holding his or her father's or mother's arms and is going to the beach. You can now hear the roar of the sea. This is the first time you're hearing it. Not able to hold the excitement anymore. You're trying to run towards the sea now. See this in great detail, as much detail as possible. Remember everything about that day. How was the weather? Was it sunny? Was it cloudy? What were you wearing? Can you recollect the dress or the clothes in great detail? The color, the shoes. Take your time. It's no hurry. Just be in that zone. Now, as you're walking towards the sea, for the first time, you're seeing the bluish green water, the vastness of the water. What are you feeling now? You're feeling the explosion of joy in you for the first time. The roar of the sea, the sight of the waters, the birds, the noise of the kids. Can you feel the sand on your feet? Feel the wind blowing your hair away. Just feel everything in great detail. Now, as you move closer, one of the waves is now touching your feet. Then you feel the cold water. It's your body coming alive completely, totally. Feel the gratitude, the entire universe, this profoundness of this moment, where everything stops, no time, no space, eternity. You're completely soaked in this moment, the profoundness of this moment. Go deeper and deeper. Tears might flow now. Enjoy, if that's okay too. Just be with that. Feel it. Allow yourself to completely feel it. See how joyful that little kid was. Full of excitement, full of vitality, full of life, completely filled with life. One with everything. Slowly come back to your friends. You may open your eyes. Remember to be joyful. Continue to be joyful. How was that, Sirisha? Were you able to feel the joy?
Yes, yes, yes. Very much. It was like a feeling as a child, we are very small and we see the big ocean, right? It is like huge. That is the excitement.
Yeah. Were you able to feel that entirely in your body, in every cell of your body? Like feel that joy?
Yes, yeah.
You didn't think about the time or what you have to do or anything at that time, right? This was eternity, right?
Yeah,
Everything
yes.
stopped, right? That's the joy, the state of beingness, a state of being. Not an emotion, but a state of being, such frequency. And what happens, Risha? I mean, but as kids, we were all like this, right? And talking about myself, when I was a kid, you just place me anywhere. I was just happy by myself, right? You place me in a class. I'm just talking about very early days. Again, exactly like before the homeworks and other things started, right? Before all of that, you just keep me anywhere. I was just happy. Just being there, I was happy, right? No worries, no concerns, just happy. You feel like crying, you cry. You feel like fighting, you fight. You're so alive, right? So alive, so full of life, so full of excitement, curiosity, being mischievous, right? Playing with kids. It was so natural, right? And what happened?
Yeah, so we are no
Yeah,
more kids. We grow up a little bit. We move from toddler to a little kid.
yeah, sometimes you think, oh, why did we grow up, right? Because we're already in heaven. and we and we grew up. Yeah, and we grew up. Something happened, right? I think something profound, something not profound, something happened which you actually alluded to, Sirisha. There were no homeworks, right? And you started getting homeworks. You started getting taught, right? We started learning, not just from the school, but from our parents, the society, and everybody, right? Everybody started teaching to us. And as kids, how were we? Like we were super vulnerable. We were always dependent on our parents for everything, right? For our food and shelter and everything. They were everything to us. They were caregivers. There was an implicit trust, right? So whatever our parents said, that was always accepted without anything, right? Without any questioning, it was always accepted. Let's say if your parents keep you on top of the table and they ask you to jump, you jump. There's no questions, right? Because you know that you will be caught. At 12 years, if you ask, probably not. But before that, yes, right? You knew there was an implicit trust. And that is when the learning started to trickle in, right? We were told what is good to do. This is a good thing. This is a bad thing, right? We started getting told about those things. Good things. Here's a good things. Here's a list of good things. There's a list of bad things. You were told clearly, this is good. This is bad. Left good, right bad, whatever, right? Keep getting told. And if we did good, if we did a good thing, then what happens? You were rewarded, right? You're always getting rewarded for the good things.
Or as a good
Reward
girl.
could be yeah, and reward could be like toys, could be sweets, could be attention. You get to watch TV or whatever, right? You get to do any of those. We started getting rewarded for good things, right? And bad things, they're getting punished. Could need not be beatings, right? Could be more like, not getting the attention of their parents. At that point in time, when all we wanted was attention, was a torture, right? That is such a huge punishment. We're not getting that attention from our parents. We did something wrong, right? So those things. So in that small mind which is full of joy and happiness and vigor and life and all that, right? That kid who was in that ocean by the sea, enjoying everything, now started creating that list. This is that list of good things. This is what will make my parents say, I'm a good girl, I'm a good boy. And here is a list of things which will make my parents say I'm a bad boy. Let me not, as much as possible, let me try to avoid the bad things. Let me stay with the good things, right? Good punishment, good reward, bad punishment. What does it remind you of, Suresha?
What reminds me of, like, if I'm not able to finish my homework, I cannot step out and play with my friends. And I want to go out.
And also, this is more like, if you observe, this is the domestication part, right? This is how the pets are also taught, right? Isn't it? Reminds me of I was just doing a course at the local police academy. And the trainer of the dogs were teaching, telling us, or explaining the process of training, right? How they train dogs. So they'll make a list of favorable acts, the things which they want, whether it could be catching drugs or sniffing things and things like that, right? The right behavior. They define the behaviors. Actually, that is the right thing. Rather than favorable, the right behaviors is listed, and the wrong behaviors, which they do not want, is also listed. So the moment there is a right behavior, you'll have a list of things. You'll have multiple scenarios. So right behaviors, you're immediately rewarded. They throw the toy at the dog, right? The dog is so joyful, happy, right? And gets the attention of the master. Otherwise, the master just walks out, throws the toy away, right? You don't get the toy. So it's continuously trained. And after a while, it really knows what to do. The behaviors are clearly controlled, right?
True.
So very similar thing, very, very similar thing. In a way, we can say that we have been domesticated. We were all trained pets, right? But let's not take this against our parents. They also went through the same thing, right? We're probably doing the same thing to our kids. It's a continuous vicious cycle because it's all being done unconsciously. We don't know what's going on, right? This has been happening for eons, just continuously happening. In this context, I just want to give a small example of sometimes even the most well-intentioned, sometimes how the best intent, most pure relationships, like a mother or a child, right? Something coming from the mother can also create huge blockages within the kid. Even such a pure relationship like in a mother and a child, right? Without even mother intending, mother might end up creating blockages and create belief systems in the kid. One of the things an example which I found very profound, it's a very true thing as well, which keeps happening. It's a case of a working mother where she was having a very, very tough day at job, and she was trying to finish everything by 5 p.m. so she can, finish everything and get back home and do her stuff, right? But that particular day, she's not able to finish, and the boss was getting angry. She has a deadline. She has to finish everything by tonight. She has a lot of things to do, and she gets back home, right? She gets back home with all this worry in her head in terms of what do I do and all that. And the little kid was at home. She has a small daughter. There's a little kid at home. When she saw the mother, she was so happy. The mom is back home. She was singing and so happy and, jumping and all that. But the mom is in such a state where she was so depressed. She had all these things going on in her head. And she is like, in that state, without meaning, she blurted out, "You have such an ugly voice." It's our kids, right? That just went in. That just went in. That little kid who had such a beautiful voice, and the mom also knows she has such a beautiful voice, and the mom would never do that. But in that moment, the little kid accepted it, and it just went in. She would never sing again because she has accepted that she has an ugly voice. It has come from her mom. And like this was so many belief systems which we got in, right? Without any barriers or anything, we were just accepting things as it is. This is one example. There are so many other concepts, right? Concept of beauty. In TV, we keep watching these advertisements where, a woman has to look in a certain way, a man has to look like this for him to be handsome. So many things, right? So many concepts were being fed into our mind, right? How did this happen? We keep repeating the same advertisements repeat, right? They keep repeating 5 times, you might not accept it, but it just goes in. The repetition, it keeps repeating, and finally those agreements, these are called agreements, right? Whatever you agree, this goes in, gets into our belief system. We start forming belief system, that list which we talked about, the left and right, good things, bad things. These are all started going in. The natural state is gone now, right? Here is the idea of beauty. Here is a list of good things. Here is a list of bad things. Everything started coming. We started becoming like those trained puppies, right? Everything, we know the behavior. Everything we know now. Artificial behaviors, not natural. That little kid in the ocean is long gone, right? Because of all this, which keeps happening. In the temple, right? You go to the temple, you go to the church, you start getting all this belief system, right? We start believing that here is a set of good people, here is a set of bad people. We start judging people based on the color. So many things, religion, caste, so many things started coming in, which would have never come in that kid. That little kid in the beach would have never thought about these things. But now they're all coming in. Now, when we look at the world, when we look at a person walking down an alley, all we're thinking about is we're thinking from these belief systems, from these views, from these behaviors, the good and the bad, everything. This is now we're seeing it, right? We are not really seeing the person. We're not seeing the person like that little kid used to see the sea or the beach. Now it is these behaviors. The naturality was gone, right? Now with all these concepts coming in, the naturality is gone. This is the state we say the paradise lost. We were in paradise, but the paradise is gone. Now we started fitting in what is right. We have to start fitting into the society, right? So we started making these adjustments so we can fit in with our group of friends or everything. Just everything started becoming artificial. When we feel an emotion, even that was suppressed. Even if we feel an emotion, it wasn't allowed to let go. It wasn't allowed. We're not allowed to feel it. Back in the day, Sirisha, if you feel like crying, you cry, right? Don't worry about too much, right? But now you're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to cry. You are supposed to keep an image of strength, right? You have to be strong. You have to show that you are strong so that other people feel the strength, right? Now you have to keep an image. And now becomes the idea of perfection, right? Now we started creating the idea of perfection. What happened to all these suppressed unexpressed emotions? They were all stuck in the body, right? It's like the analogy which I like to use is you have these things which you want to hide. Right? You want to hide from people. So you take this as a little kid and you would keep it in these little different corners within the shelf, under the books and all that. You just keep it somewhere so nobody knows about it. The problem with that is everybody will forget, including yourself. Right? You also would not know that it is sitting there in some shelf somewhere stuck there, right? The problem is that these things are magnets, or these emotions, these are magnets. It will start attracting more and more and more of those, start getting such big blockages all over the body. becoming more and more and more unnatural, these unexpressed emotions. Everything starts accumulating in the body. I know those concepts of pain body and everything was discussed in detail. So even when we are breathing, Suresh, when we're trying to meditate, right? We're not breathing. When we initially come to meditation, you can see this. Even the breathing is not proper. When we are breathing, the breath does not go all the way to tummy, right? Because the body is always tensed. I observed this when I came to meditation. After a while, I started seeing myself. I started seeing that my body, my shoulder, my hands, my tummy is always tensed. I'm always in that state of tension. Although outside I might be smiling, right? Although outside, when people say, oh, he's such a nice guy and all that. But inside my body, I can feel all these tensions in me. Everything was tensed. I wasn't natural. I was just keeping up a show, right? I was just fitting into the appearance, making an appearance and fitting into this image of perfection, which I've created and which I am now projecting to everybody. It's not anyone's fault, right? You've created that image of perfection based on what you have gone through and you've projected it on everybody. Now, this is what everyone thinks is the perfect thing, right? This is who he is. And now, and to keep that image of perfection, which is not real. Anything which is real is just fine, right? You'll be in the natural state, you just breathe is fine. But to keep this pretension, that's the word I was looking for, this pretension, you have to make you have to give energy, right? You have to continuously keep it. The analogy which I would like just came to my mind was that balloon, right? You have to keep pumping air to it. You have to keep pumping air for it to remain inflated, right? To keep pumping air. You're continuously feeding energy to it, continuously feeding energy. So you can just keep that idea of perfection. So everybody looks at him and says, oh, wow, that is somebody who is always joyful and always smiling and, show of strength. Whatever happens, he never cries, right? He's always that picture perfect strength. But inside he's suffering. He's suffering. His body is suffering. The heart rate goes up. There's all sort of diseases, right? Because everything is stuck in the body. All these emotions are stuck. There's no way to express it. That little kid is long gone. And this domestication is completely done. Completely done. And this is the sad state of everything, right? And I mean, one more analogy which just comes to me is the limiting beliefs, Rishabh. The limiting beliefs, right? One analogy is, as an elephant, you might know the story as an elephant, to train an elephant, right? We talked about dogs, but to train an elephant, they tie a small rope to the elephant, right? Tie a rope to the elephant so that elephant doesn't move. At that point in time, the strength of a small baby elephant is not such that it can break it. Initially, it tries to revolt a little bit, right? It wants its freedom. Nobody wants to be contained. Nothing in this world wants to be contained. That's against the nature, right? We want to revolt. We want to fight. And in that state, as a small baby elephant, it cannot. It cannot revolt, cannot fight with that. It did not have the strength. But it started growing. But at some point it gave up. It gave up. It accepted the fact that I cannot win this. Let me resign. Let me resign to this. Let me accept it. I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength was what went in. So as an elephant, it became a big elephant with huge strength, it could have just moved the leg, would have broken, but it does not, because it believed that it does not have the strength. And all the mahot or the guy has to continue doing is just use the same rope, right? It doesn't matter anymore because elephant believed it. This is what is happening, right? Everything is a belief system. All these limiting beliefs, what I can do, what I cannot do, was all given to us, and we believed it. And we are now in this limiting self. The joy is long gone. Where is joy when you're looking at everything through this lens of this behaviors? Everything, all of this is gone. And what is the default frequency, Sirisha, in this way? Right. You have to continuously keep the pretension. What is the default frequency? The fear of losing, isn't it? What if I happen to do something which will take me away, which will take away the things which I have? It could be a friendship. It could be a very beautiful friendship which I have. You know? What if I do something which is out of the normal, right? What if I show my emotion? What if I get angry? What if they lose? I mean, what if I lose them? we started doing things just to maintain this, right? Out of fear. If I don't drink, I won't get into this friend group. Even if in your mind initially you know it is probably not good, but you still keep doing it because you have to fit in. You have to continuously doing it. Every single decision we start observing, then we'll see that those were fear-based decisions. Every single decision, most of the decisions. We can go back now that we are in meditation, right? We can go back and check the decisions. What were those based off? Many things, the jobs, the gossiping in the office or whatever, right? A lot of things, small things to big things. It's all, most of those were fear-based. You're living in a frequency of fear without even realizing it. And what happens in that state is that you're not in control anymore, right? You've given up the control. You've totally and completely given up the control to others. It's like the case of a beggar, the store story, where this comes to my mind, where he had this box which he never opened, and he was sitting on top of that box, and box had all sort of jewelry and all that kind of good stuff in that, but he was sitting on top of it, and he was using it as a seat, but never opened it. It's like we have all these riches, but we're always looking for the five annas or 5 cents outside, like the little happiness from outside, which we will get because we have already resigned to the fact that for us to be happy, for us to feel that get anything, we have to fit in, we have to get something from others, right? Everything became external. Nothing was internal. There's no control given to us anymore, right? It was like, I don't have any control. You take the control, you do what you want, because we have already given it up. And this was the idea of perfection, as we discussed. It needs a lot of energy to maintain this pretension, like that balloon thing. Now we've looked at the contrast. Sirisha, this is session on joy, right? Why are we talking about all this dark stuff, right? Let's get back to the brighter side of things. So Sirisha, we have been meditating for what, 21 days?
Yes.
21 days, right? So all of us are still here. All of us are here because we have started questioning, right? At some point, we knew this is not right. Whatever has gone through, right? This is not right. And enough is enough. And if you have held on to this much, 21 days of this course, first of all, congrats, as I started this program, right? And meditation. Congrats. This is amazing job. This just, even to come into meditation, there has to be a certain amount of self-love. You have to allow yourself to let it happen. Because your mind will always give 15 other things to do. And you have to have that self-love and self-acceptance to even come into meditation. And to continue to stay focused and be in meditation, you can see, I mean, there has to be a lot of self-love, and you can see that keeps increasing. And what happens in meditation, Sirisha? I mean, you can see when we talked about the energy part and all that, right? A lot of energy comes in.
Yeah,
Yes.
So in meditation, we start looking at ourselves. What I would say, like we will see our true self. We are not sitting in meditation to make somebody happy. We are doing meditation for our own self. So
Yes. Finally, we are back in that frequency of that little kid who was in the sea, in the beach, right? We're trying to connect back to that. The paradise was lost, long gone. We are completely domesticated, but the fact that it was a contrast sunk in us. It got into us. We understood the contrast. Then we got into meditation and we continued persisting in meditation. That shows the depth. Right now we understood. We started seeing things. You talked about energy. It's light, right? You said seeing. Seeing means light. More and more things started becoming visible to us. They started appearing. Those things, right, which we started accepting things, right? And when I, years into meditation, when I started seeing that, when I first observed that many things which I thought since I genuinely thought I was a very nice guy and all that, right? And then many things were pretensions. And you can see all those things. You can see things. That is light. As it happens, Sometimes as it happens, sometimes after it has happened, maybe seconds after it has happened, we'll see, oh, you understand. Because more and more light comes in, more and more awareness comes in, the sensitivity increases. What happens when sensitivity increases? There is a beautiful word called distance. You start seeing the distance in light, more and more things becoming visible. And in that light, you start seeing the distance from whatever is happening, now there is a distance. Even when a situation is happening, you can see it as a situation. Previously, it was all one thing. You're all entangled, entrapped, involved is rather the best word for that. Involved is the word, right? You're involved in it. Even now, you still have anger, but you're not angry. You're not involved. You're not involved, trapped in it, right? You can see it. You still let it happen. And this is a state where it's a little interesting state, right? Where sometimes now we want to go back to our natural self. We want to getting back into our natural self, right? We have stopped dropping this idea of perfection, right? And that is when people will start confusing. People will start saying, okay, this guy has changed. He's now getting angry. He's now getting into these things. He's not that nice guy he used to be or she used to be, right? You start getting these things because what they are comparing against, that frame of reference, is the idea of perfection, which you have accepted it and projected onto everybody else, right? The frame of reference is that. And that is now breaking. And now you're becoming unapologetically yourself. So this is a phase, I'm sure we talked about this, right? In one of the previous sessions where, you go through this, the poison will come out, we go through these states and all that we talked about in detail. Regardless of what happens, we persist, we continue persisting because getting back to that natural state is our highest desire, to get back to that natural state. And in this state, Sirisha, one beautiful thing happens, right? You asked about why the word JOICE, right? The second part of JOICE was the choice, right? The second part of the word JOICE is the word choice. We start seeing the choice. Before we start seeing, right, it was all fear-based. We didn't have a choice because the continuously fear-based decisions were happening. Now we start conquering the fears. We start seeing the fears, we observe it, slowly by slowly, light goes in, we conquer the fears. As and when the fears start coming down, one beautiful thing happens, clarity. We start seeing things clearly. We start getting clarity. And one happening is choice. You start understanding that you have a choice. I actually heard it first time from Sampath about the word choice, right? It's like, oh, really? Because it wasn't experiential for me at that time. When it became experiential, that moment by moment, at any given point in time, we do have a choice. It's like such an awakening thing. And we have a choice to be natural. We have a choice to be joyful. We have a choice to do what we have. And I didn't know that. Because we were so stuck in that contrast. We were in that autopilot mode, rather, it's the right word probably. Autopilot mode, right? We're continuously going. Continuously, the car is taking us somewhere. We are in the autopilot mode. We think that everything, there is no control, right? We completely lost the control. But we have forgotten the fact that it was we who originally put it on autopilot mode. Even putting into autopilot mode was also a choice. And now, once we understand the word choice or the concept of choice in depth, everything in past and present will become very clear. They'll come into light because those were all choices. Simple. Everything in past and present, past it has happened and present as it is happening today, all the situations is based on a choice. When we fully accept it, 100% accept it, when we know, not theoretically, not theoretical concept and noting it down, no. When we accept it, when we know it, 100%, then a beautiful thing will unfold. Then we know the future is also a choice, which we can make in this present moment. In this present moment, then we have a choice. That choice is always ours to take. Once we completely accept the choice of the past and everything, right? And that is such a profound realization, which we can use to take back the control. Take back the control. Now we see that if we were in autopilot mode, but the steering, the clutch and the brake and the gear and everything is in our control. We are in control. Now it's all ours to take. And now we connect back to that joy is increasing. Like in our meditation, the joy is increasing. Now we can start choosing joy. Finally, we can choose. Right? When we know that we have the choice, it is also the time to get back to the state of joy. And Sampath did a beautiful session on the power of now, right? The now moment, the present moment. You know what joy does? We did that small exercise at the start, right? Sirisha, that little kid example exercise, we did the visualization. At that point in time, when you are feeling the gratitude, right? When you are feeling that gratitude in your body, were you in the past? Although the memory was of the past, were you in the past or were you in the present moment? In that gratitude, were you feeling in the present moment?
Yeah, the moment was the past, but slowly it was coming to the awareness. I was feeling the gratitude for everything, not just that moment. Slowly it is coming to the present moment also, like being grateful to everything in front of me, to everybody in front of us. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that exactly what you said, right? So joy, that profound joy, brings us back to the present moment, now moment. And now, in that now, as we all discussed and we understand, now has the power, right? That is when we can choose joy. It becomes a cycle, right? Joy brings us to now, and then now you have the power to choose. In that now, right? In that now, you always have the power, because power only exists in the now. And then you have a choice to choose joy. And that is when it becomes joyous. When you actively choose joy. And how to choose joy? It's very simple. You will know it in your body. When you start making those choices, right? Choices will always be, once you can start clearly seeing choices moment by moment, then you will know to make joy choices, right? Joyful choices. Then it might not appear correct from a logical perspective, but that would be from the heart space. One small example, I know we are running out of time, but one small example which I want to give is you and I were both living in New Jersey, right? In 2021, I was living in New Jersey. And I had this feeling that it was deep knowing that it was time to move out of New Jersey. And this whole thing, vision of North Carolina and all that came. And with no real reason, absolutely no reason, because our jobs were in New York area, everything was there, but we decided to move. It was a joy choice. It was a choice. It's completely a joy-based choice because that seemed so correct. And the moment you make a choice, moment you start making these choices, newer and newer things will start happening. The older things will start falling apart and the newer things will happen. Newer and newer joy opportunities will come, right? That is the path of joy. You continue down that path, it's the path of joy. It's more like a frequency where you continue to be in joy. That is the frequency of abundance. The right people will come, the right new friendships will come, new people. When I came here, I was like, usually the mind would start thinking, I have no friends here. What am I doing here, right? Now, I am always by the nature. I'm sitting by the nature all the time. My backyard faces the nature, right? I'm in a completely different state. But I could not have thought about all that sitting there if I had not made this choice. And this is why choosing joy, moment to moment, again and again, becomes a lifestyle. And in this, right, for this to allow, for this to happen, we talked about self-love, right? The continuous state of love. When I was talking to somebody, they gave this beautiful word, allow. Somebody does these things, right? Beautiful words, allow. All love. It's all love. Love. And that is the frequency. When we keep doing this, that is the frequency, right? That is pretty much what I want to talk about, Sirisha. So we keep choosing, right? Initially, we keep on choosing joy. Continuously, we keep choosing joy. And at some point, it will come to a state where we don't have to choose joy. And during meditation, we talked about this, right? We start being an observer. At some point, it becomes a happening. It becomes observing, becomes the layam state. Everything, it becomes the flow. And the joys will also become a flow. And that is the state. And that is a state which is a happening. But it'll all start with very, very simple things, very simple things like meditation, going to nature. I know I'm running out of time. I want to talk about few exercises too, but I don't think we have time, right, Sirisha?
Yeah, so we are running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I would say. That continue living, live a life of joys. One thing, if I can take one more minute, Sirisha?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Sure. Thank you. So meditation is a great thing, right? I mean, just continue doing it, continue doing meditation on a daily basis. And one more thing which I would highly recommend is going to the nature. Go to the nature as much as possible. And I'm saying nature, it is, I don't mean you can start there, but I'm not referring to putting on a headphone and running by the woods or something, right? I'm not referring to that. You're running when you're listening to music. That's what is happening. You have trees around you, but nothing much, right? You can consider it as step zero. What I'm talking about is as your self-love grows, give yourself time to go to the nature and be with the woods. Be completely with the woods and be with the nature, not taking a book, not taking your headphones, listening to music and all that, just being with the woods. And that's a different session by itself, Sirisha. We'll talk about that a different way, it completely transforms, right? Natural and nature are very similar words, right? There is a meaning to that. To become natural, go back to the nature, right? Everything in nature is full of joy. When we just look at it one time, we won't see it. But when we observe deeply, you'll see the joy, you'll see the complete acceptance. All our roles, every single role which we have accepted for ourselves will start falling apart. Every single role will go away. There is complete acceptance. In that, the fears will also start melting. That is the state. Give yourself the time. All I would say, it's all like a life of choice. Thank you.
Thank you, Shibu. Thank you so much. So when you're talking about joy, the pretending fear, and also the one question came to my mind was like, we live in a society. We don't live in a jungle, right? We all live in a society, and we try to, make ourselves, what is that, accepted by the society, right? And we pretend like in the office, like for example we pretend to fix ourselves in the office community or the groups, and so these situations keep coming up, right, all the time for us. So how should one should to overcome this, because these are like everyday day-to-day happenings.
Very simple, right? Because exactly as we talked about, it was an autopilot mode, right? You have made the choices. Whatever happened and whatever is happening now is based on, even what is happening now is based on the past choices, right? But exactly like we discussed, now we have a power to choose. The choosing is in the present moment, right? Now, in this moment, you can decide to be joyful, and those choices will be very clear to you, right? Once you start understanding yourself, maybe let's take a small example, Sirisha. Like, to fit in, maybe as a group, we started going out, we started gossiping, because during lunchtime, you all get together with friends, the co-workers, and we gossip. Because at some point, we probably did not want to gossip, but that was the way to fit into that group. So we felt that being in that group would safeguard my job. Because if you go deeper and deeper into all this, you'll understand that at some point, deeper, peel the onion there, then you'll see there is some fear somewhere, the fear of losing job. The fear of losing job, I have to fit in. I have to fit in. If I am part of this gang, I will be fine. I'll be fine. Then let me gossip. Because I have to take care of my family, because I have to provide for my family, it was okay. I am okay. I'll make the adjustment. You won't consciously know this. Once we go deeper and deeper in meditation, once the sensitivity increases, you'll see this. You'll see this. That you go deeper. And then you'll see everything under the depth. There is a fear of losing job. And that is why I was gossiping. That is why you'll gossip. Once you see it, it just drops. It is a potential. Pretension needs unconsciousness, right? To maintain this show, you need to be unconscious. The moment you are in light, none of this will stand. It will go. You will decide. And that needs courage. This is why this practices, which we talked about, you covered this in all these days, right? Whatever you have to do, Sajjan Sanghatya and all of that, right? Where we get the energy to do all these things. Meditation, being with the right people, reading the right books, being with the nature, every single thing. This will give us the energy to say no to that and choose the right thing, which is not to gossip. I will do the right thing, irrespective of anything, right? Because what is more important is my personal freedom. I'm not going to make any more fear-based decisions, which means more often than not, Sirisha, if you start doing that, right? You start doing that. I'm not worried about my job, but I'm not going to gossip for that, right? Something else, beautiful things change. You will feel the freedom in you for the first time. You will feel that, right? Your friends will start looking at you as a weird guy, right? There is one guy who doesn't join this, he doesn't speak for some time. I think I talked about this, right? I mean, when we're talking, we talked about this. Your friends at some point will start distancing. It is the way of the nature to start distancing yourself from toxic situations. It is nature helping us, nature giving you a gift by removing those toxic situations. Slowly by slowly, when those things move, what happens? When something moves, what happens, Sirisha? You get space, right?
Yeah,
You
true.
finally get space for new things, new happenings to be there. You start inviting new things. Those toxic friendships will move out, and the new guys, new ideas, new things will start. New things will come in. New beginnings will be there. And this is how you become a butterfly, when you make joyful decisions. This is one decision we talk about. We make multiple decisions. We keep doing this, doing the right thing again and again and again. And the other things will fall apart. And the right things will happen. At some point, the initial stages, it will appear that you're losing everything. All your friends are leaving, everything is going. But if you have the courage, and that courage will come with meditation and all, doing the right things, and things will happen. Sorry, a long answer to the short question, but a very important question. I did not cover this, but thanks for asking this. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Shibu, for answering that. Thank you so much. So I think we can open up question and answers for the audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I see Rajan sir. Good morning, sir. It's so nice to see you in the morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in every day and blessing us. Thank you.
Let me unmute. Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was wonderful, Shibu, because you touched upon so many other related subjects, especially the power of now by Kurt Toll. And
Yes.
of course, limiting beliefs. We already had a session. I saw that. And as I remember certain words which Patriji used to repeat. And in various sessions, we used to hear it, What is natural is easy. What is natural is right. So first thing is what is natural is right and what is natural is easy. And then again, be natural always. Okay. So and another point is be in the midst of or lap of nature. Then you will always be able to get the maximum energy. That is one of the ways which we normally recommend to people who are doing meditation for the first time. So see whether the ambience is good when you're doing the meditation. And the ambience will be at its highest when you're near a river, near a lake, near a water body, near a green scenery, etc. So these are all ways to improve your meditative capacity. So Shibu was right when he said there is no artificiality means that you are natural. Okay. So we have to be very natural. And one thing we should remember, by meditation and through meditation, we only address ourselves. It's meant only for us, for the individual when he does it. So that is one thing. And secondly, we have to thank Gautam Buddha also. For example, he has recommended or he has taught us the best method of doing meditation where you don't have any externality. Everything is internal, including your breath. You only watch your breath. That way you get the maximum joy, maximum bliss. So I remember reading Osho's book, Sex to Superconsciousness. It's one of the best books that he has written. And that is where we also realize that, as very many biologists say, that uh, r- that when you change your mind and your perspective or your beliefs, you change your biology. This is what Bruce Lipton has said in Biology of Belief. So when you change your biology, your body becomes natural. It starts accepting whatever is good, and you are happy at it. But you do not lament over things which are gone and all that, because you are living in the present. Because past is history, future is a mystery, and live in the present. The present is a gift. Okay. Now, when after I read Osho's book, I happened to read another book by another biologist, where he says, when you are in a meditative mode, you reach a stage where your pineal gland gets activated. When your pineal gland is activated, what happens is there is a release of melatonin, Melatonin. Melatonin is something of a secretion which takes place in the brain, and it gives you immense joy. Immense joy, you are at the height of joy, and you are in a total ecstasy. You can call it ecstasy, you can call it bliss, you can call it happiness or excitement too. For children, it is excitement because we are recently in Kerala, and in a pond we are taking our family pond, we are taking bath. I'm taking them for the first time there, and the children were really enjoying. I could find they are in a bliss state. They didn't want to come out of the waters. So they find it wonderful. So we can see them enjoy that. So this is the state in which we have to be at any point of time. Whatever be the situation, even if you have a news which is not very favorable to you, maybe regarding a change of your job, a change of your department where you are working, you would have been familiar with certain situations, but you have to go to a new situation. I had a similar situation when I had to change place. And when I rang up to Patriji and told him, Patriji, I have to give up my post in the PSSM and move to another place, then Patriji, what should I do? And he said, what is there, Baba? What is there to lament? It appears you are very unhappy over it. No, every change is for the better. Every change is for you to get a new experience. So realize that and be happy. And that is what happened, because I could advance my state of meditation and also spread the message all through, because I went from Mysore district, from Karnataka. Mysore, we were enjoying our stay there 3 years. But then when I had to move to another place, a rather dry place, a hot place in Tamil Nadu, then he said it's better you take the change because you will get a lot of opportunities, new people, new language, everything new. But then you get acclimatized to it in a very short time. Depends upon how receptive you are. If you are receptive to the new situation, then you immediately become happy. So I appreciate Shibu for one more thing that he said about advertisements. See, invariably, we may be in a very good mood and having our lunch and all that along with the family members, but suddenly you are switching on the TV and you are seeing the ad there. The ad will ask, "Are you having a headache or are you having a toothache?" God, gone. Then your mood is out because you invariably get attached to that particular situation, and then that reminds you of some toothache you had some times back, and what you did, you ran to the dentist, and all that will happen. So never get attached to the situation, and never encourage these sort of advertisements which are flashy and which make you think, which make you ponder over something which is not at all required for you. So Seth, in most of his books, he used to say that what is required is self-delight and self-approval. This self-approval is a very important point, and as you rightly said, choice is what is required. You make the right choice and never have limiting beliefs, because these will invariably detract the joy. There will be no joy there. So when you have attained an altered state of consciousness, that is through meditation, then naturally you will meet only people whom you like, whom you favor, etc. For enlightened persons, it may be very easy to get attained, to get adjusted, adapted. That is why I said when a spiritually intelligent person is there, he is adaptive to the situation, he is flexible to the situation, and that is what is required. So I will end, because there's very little time, by saying Albert Einstein's quotation says, the only life worth living is a life lived for others. So when you are going to teach meditation for more people, help more people to attain the spiritual path, then you are doing the best under that circumstances. So that will give you happiness. So when you give happiness to others, you will get happiness. That is why I read somewhere that whatever you desire, whatever you want, that is what you should give to others. If you want authority, you should give authority even to your own driver to decide which route he should go. Don't dictate to him. Don't give him too many commands rather. So when you want power, you share power. When you want happiness, you share happiness. And that way you can make your day. That day is done the moment you realize on getting up that today I should be happy throughout the day. You make an affirmation, self-affirmation that I should be happy. So then you will have the maximum of joy throughout. Nothing will deter you from going out of that route of happiness. So wish you all the best. Wish you a very good Sunday, a happy Sunday. Thank you for the session on joy, and that is what we need always. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir. When you're talking about this, right, I have this flashcard up there from Sage Wisdom. The point of power is now. Such a beautiful thing, right? You create your own reality, and point of power is now. It's a few words, but such a profound statement. Thank you, sir. And also, as you said, right, one thing which we probably not touch about, probably not talk enough, is the service. Look at Sirisha's face, right? Day in day, every day, volunteering, doing this. Sunil, Sirisha, Prithvi, everybody, all the volunteers, right? They probably might have slept for 3 hours or 4 hours in the night. Jenny, everyone. But there is no tiredness or no resentment in the face, because that is the one thing indicator of being in the joy's flow. If you are in joy, even if there is a weight, even if you're carrying a weight, you won't feel the weight. It becomes so light. Okay, you feel as if you're flying. That is what joy does to us. Anything done in joy, you feel light. And that is again, the contrary is also a great thing, because if you feel the weight, then you should check yourself. If you feel the weight of whatever we are doing, then it's also a good time to check ourselves. Where is the joy? Gadan, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody.
True. Thank you. Thank you, sir. So friends, we will open up for question and answers. So anybody want to share or have questions, please raise your hand or you can chat. So I know this is like it looks, the topic is very simple. It looks like, but actually when you start, working on it and choosing the joy, right? So you will get more and more questions, how to go about it. So friends, please ask questions. So we have Swanalata madam. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Amma.
Good morning, madam.
A nice session. Very pleasant session. Instead of nice, I can say. Thank you for presenting every day a nice thing.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Nana.
So let's see. Yeah, I don't see many questions. Looks like everybody are in the joyful state.
We did all that. We did all
Yes.
the visualizations, and we did a meditation, and then the visualization brought everyone into the joyful state and all that. I actually wanted to do one more visualization there, but we are run out of time. I
Yeah.
wanted to keep going for some more time, but yeah.
So I see one question from Lavanya. She says, thank you, sir. Wonderful session. You told that when we do meditation, our inner thoughts, desires surfaces. So how to handle that?
Very simple. Observe it. The thoughts are coming, right? Thoughts are coming. It's like the cloud. If a cloud is coming in the sky, what do? You observe and let it pass. Don't involve, don't get indulged into it. Don't try to catch on to it. It's like a cloud, let it pass. That cloud will also pass. The sun will come back, right? Thought comes, let it pass. Like we say, if you are aware that the thoughts are coming, you should congratulate yourself, because that is awareness. You are aware that you are with the thought. Because always what happens is, you're always with the thoughts, the rumination, all that our team would have talked about it, right? We are with 70,000 or 75,000 thoughts, right? Always, we're always with thoughts. And you're never aware of it. Now we are aware of it. Now simply come back. Come back to the body sensations. Come back to the breath. Sensations caused by the breath, right? Then you bring it back to the present moment. Once you're in the present moment, this is gone. You just accept it and then move on.
Thank you, Shibu. I don't see any more questions in the chat. I think we can call it a day, right?
Absolutely. And Sirisha, just wanted to mention that JOICE as an individual choice, right? We talked about that. We didn't touch that group dimension, because everything starts individually, right? We cannot ask for a change on others. What you do is you work on yourself. The biggest gift we can give to the world is our own enlightenment. Once you become a joyful person, right? Joy is infectious. The smile is infectious. It's not artificial anymore. There is joy in the face, right? And that brings joy. That is so infectious. That is the biggest gift we can give. So more and more people will come into the joys. Joys will become a movement. It is not a personal thing. You cannot contain it. Joy cannot be contained. You can have some knowledge and you can keep it with you, right? But joy is not that. You will overflow with joy. Joys will become movement. And then everybody will be like that, right? That is the vision. And that is how we create heaven on Mother Earth.
True, very true. Rightly said. Thank you, Shibu. Thank you so much. It was a very joyful session. So friends, choice. Yeah, somebody says choice is between heart and mind. Yes.
Is that a question?
No, I think that's just the perspective, their point of view. Choice is between heart and mind.
I would say the why will have to come from the heart and the how from the mind. Always let the heart lead. Connect your heart space. Let the heart lead. The why, the real thing, will come from the heart, and the how and all the inconsequential things are not inconsequential. I'm just making it lighter of it. But use the mind, right? Know what to use for what situation. The why, the clarity, that is heart, because heart is, let it come from the heart and then use the mind. So nothing is above or below anything.
Yes, true. True. Thank you, Shibu. Thank you for the sharing such a joyful topic. Thank you. So, friends, let's take let's give an experiment for next 24 hours. So think, be joyful. Let's see how much you will be joyful in next 24 hours, right? So take it as an experiment and see, are you taking the right choices to be in the joyful moment? So that's how you be connected to the awareness and you are connected to the present moment. Thank you so much, friends, for joining today. I thank all the participants for joining this session on behalf of IFSS and the partnering organization, PSSM Global. We will see you back next day, tomorrow on same time. Thank you so much. Be joyful. Bye.